Hello, Checkmates. I'm thrilled to reveal to you a new product that is currently in its early availability stage. We haven't decided on the final name for it yet, so let's call it CloudGuard Express for now. As you've already got a clue from its name Express, this is what it's all about: express protection, or to be more accurate, one-click protection. With this cloud-based service, we're going to save you tons of time and energy. You won't need to run any ARM templates, CloudFormation templates, or configure any routing. You don't even have to know how to configure or manage Checkpoint products. We're going to prevent HTTPS attacks on your application automatically and transparently with just a click of a button. So, before I jump into the demo, I'd like to show you first a common use case that will be a basis for the upcoming demo. In Azure East US, I have a few internet-facing applications that are protected only by Azure Network Security Groups. I'm using right now two VNets, Spoke 1 VNet and Spoke 2 VNet. And I have two Nginx instances that are running as a front end for each one of the applications. Application spoke1.checkmysite.co is running on an instance that is connected to Spoke 1 VNet. Application spoke2.checkmysite.co is running on an instance that is connected to Spoke 2 VNet. Our company developers are working right now on a new application that would need to use a virtual machine scale set of Nginx servers to support resource spikes. So we created a scale set Nginx and an internal load balancer on top of it for internal testing. We'll want to publish this new application to vmss.checkmysite.co very soon. With one click of a button, the new service will be deployed in your Azure account. A new VNet would be created and a VNet peering to the VNet where the application you chose to protect is residing would be created as well. Besides that, a Checkpoint VMSS, internet-facing load balancer, and route tables are going to be created and configured automatically. The Checkpoint VMSS gateways are going to be registered automatically on the Checkpoint Cloud Management Service and would be configured and given a policy automatically as well. If now you want to protect the second application, for example, spoke2.checkmysite.co, it would take just 3 minutes as the main infrastructure is already deployed. We will create in the background a VNet peering with VNet Spoke 2, move or create a public IP on the internet-facing load balancer, import the SSL certificate, and create a checkpoint access rule that will allow access to the application from the internet. During the protection process, you would be asked if you want to use the existing public IP of your application. If you approve using it on the new internet-facing load balancer, it would be created. You won't even need to make any DNS changes. If you decide to create a new public IP for your application, you will have to change the DNSA record to point on the new public IP. Okay, let's jump to the demo. I want to show you how easy this is. This is a one-time boarding process that you will need to perform that will allow the Checkpoint cloud-based service to access your Azure account. For that, you will need to open your Azure console and create a new app registration in the Active Directory. I'll create one, Checkpoint Service. Once it was created, copy the application ID and directory ID to Notepad. Now, navigate to Certificate and Secrets and create new client secret. Give it a name and copy the secret value to Notepad. Now navigate to Subscriptions and choose the subscription you're using. Copy the subscription ID to Notepad. Navigate to IAM and under Role Assignments and add a new role assignment. The role type should be Contributor. Select the app registration service name that you have just created and save. You're all done with the Azure portal. Open a tab in your browser and navigate to Checkpoint Queue Portal. We will first add the Azure account access details, and I'll copy all the details that I have just copied to Notepad. Once the account is connected, it will take a few minutes for the service to pull all the objects information from your Azure tenant. Navigate to Assets, and you will see all of your assets that can be protected. Let's start by protecting the application, spoke1.checkmysite.co. The instance is connected to VNet Spoke 1 and has a public IP with standard SKU. This asset is protected by a network security group which only allows ingress traffic on the HTTPS port. Let's protect this application. Select the Spoke 1 instance and click Protect. On protecting the first asset in the region, you will have the option to adjust the Checkpoint service deployment parameters, the service VNet address scope, and the VMSS scale limits. I will allow access to the application only over HTTPS, and I will import the site certificate. Checkpoint won't be able to inspect and prevent Layer 7 attacks without opening the encryption. I will choose to use the existing public IP. In this case, the public IP will move to the internet-facing load balancer. Azure allows us to move the public IP as it was created with standard SKU and not basic SKU. Protecting the first asset in the region would take about 20 minutes as infrastructure needs to be deployed and configured, so let's wait for it. We can see on the Azure console that a new resource group with resources was deployed. On the internet-facing load balancer network and configuration, we can see the public IP that was used by Spoke 1 and is now attached to the load balancer. We can see that I can access the application from the internet, which means that my application is now protected. You see, as I said, I haven't done anything on Azure or Checkpoint to protect my application. Let's protect my second application, spoke2.checkmysite.co, which is connected to VNet 2. But this time, I can't use the existing public IP, as this IP was created with basic SKU, and Azure does not permit us to move it. So, I will create a new public IP for it. After 3 minutes or so, the application is protected, and I will just need to change the DNSA record to point to the new public IP address that is now attached to the internet-facing load balancer. Publishing the new application vmss.checkmysite.co is also that easy. The new application is built from Nginx in VMSS, and on top of it, an internal load balancer, so the asset I'm going to protect is the internal load balancer. I'll wait for the deployment to end. Since it's a new application, I'll need to create a DNSA record that points on the new public IP that is attached to the internet-facing load balancer. Now, all of my applications are protected, and monitoring is easier than ever. On the Monitor and Event section, you will find a predefined Smart View dashboard. You're going to see immediately your top attacked assets, and you will be able to drill down into details. Detail Logs view is also available for exploring and investigating. These days, we're working very hard to enhance this platform, developing more features and making integration with AWS and GCP as well. So stay tuned and visit Checkmates to always be up to date. Bye-bye.